All right, good morning, guys. How you guys doing this morning? It's Thirsty Thursday, as we like to say. Um, anyway, so a big day yesterday. I don't know if you guys know, but Nvidia had earnings, and the overall market in general kind of looks as Nvidia as the top leader, obviously, of the leaderboard. When it comes to blue chips and to tech in general, because Nvidia has literally got their little fingers in almost just about everything that there is. Um, at least data and computer wise. Anyway, guys, if you guys haven't already, grab your coffee. It's going to be a nice, good morning here today. I'm going to be doing two different types of trading. I'm going to do a little paper trading, and then I'm also going to do, I think, a live trade, and then we're going to check out our hymns play here in a little bit. Market opens about 1 minute or so, so grab your coffee and get ready for a nice, good morning. Also, by the way, guys, if you guys didn't already know, Monday is Memorial Day and the markets will not be open. So be aware of that. Markets aren't open on the weekend, or the weekend, geez, on Memorial Day. So make sure that you're paying attention to that and you get your nice, good beauty sleep. I don't know. Are you guys doing anything for Memorial Day? Let me know in the chat. If you guys are, what is it that you're going to be doing? I'm definitely thinking about doing something. I might go to the river. I think morning crypto B. I think I think I'm gonna go Salt River rafting. So there's a lake that I've been going to since I was a child, called Salt River. Um, we call it Saguaro Lake. So it's pretty much we get a lot of our clean water from the mountaintops. So basically, it's just a runoff from the very top of the mountain from Lake Roosevelt. So Lake Roosevelt is the very top where it collects all the mountain water and stuff like that, and it all kind of collects down into a pool, and then it trickles all the way down into a dam that we built right at the end here of or right at the end in the beginning of the county. And basically all that water that's up from Lake Roosevelt, which is about, how far away is it from here? Maybe about an hour, maybe an hour and a half from where I live, to get there. Not too far away, but far enough to be like, eh. Anyway, so all that water pretty much kind of gets trickled down into that little small area where I'm going, in Saguaro Lake, into the dam. And then on the other side of the dam, they have like a bunch of cabins and stuff like that, into where they open it up so water can trickle all the way down into the valley. So if you guys didn't know something about Arizona, Arizona actually, before they built anything, yo, happy morning, Blurple. I hope you're doing well, brother. Got that coffee ready. I hope you got yours too. If you guys didn't know something about Arizona and Phoenix, when they were developing Phoenix in the very beginning, I think it was like um early 1800s or something like that, or late 1800s. Um, the people that were living here, the natives that were already living here, I think they died off or something like that, or they pretty much kind of left this area alone. Because I mean, we live in the desert, guys. So if you guys don't know, it gets up to like 120 degrees up over here. So, yo, what's up, bro? How you doing, Nate? Nice to see you, brother. I know you've been real busy lately. Haven't seen you around. I hope everything's going well. I hope that move went well. I know that you said you were moving and stuff like that, so I hope that went out pretty well. But anyway, so down in the valley, they already created these water systems, these water canals already. So this predates to the city being built. And so when they were trying to carve out a waterway system to get water here down into the valley, as you know, because it's a desert, they basically used the same canals that were already built. So the canals that are here that you see, if you guys are ever driving around Phoenix or anywhere here in the valley, or you're just over here visiting or something like that, if you see the canals on the side of the road, those are a lot of those canals were original canals, predating before the city was ever built. So the land of the people who are already here, they already made those canals, so they just pretty much reused that whole canal system. Good morning, ready to learn, Scotty. What's up, brother? Yeah, we're gonna be doing some learning. We're gonna be doing some trading and stuff like that. I was just kind of seeing if you guys had any plans for Memorial Day this weekend. Like I said, I'm gonna go up probably Salt River rafting. I have a huge tube. I get all my tubes and coolers, and I make sandwiches and get some drinks and like some beer, food. I'm gonna be putting on my American cowboy hat. I have like this little cardboard American hat that I got at Walmart and stuff like that. And I'm thinking about getting a nice, good old 1775 custom made T-shirt, red, white, and blue flag type deal. Um, so we'll see. So I think that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be salt river rafting. So I think it takes a couple hours. I think it takes about 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours to float all the way down from the top to the bottom. So it's really cool. And also, dude, I love it out there. I love going into nature. We have lots of good fish and stuff. I've been fishing out of that place since I was a little kid. My grandfather's been taking me to that lake since I was a child. Um, so I love that place. I didn't even originally live here in Arizona. I would spend some of my summers down here as a kid. And so every once in a while, I would fly wherever I was living at the time. I would fly down to Arizona. My grandparents have been Arizonians, I guess you would say, since man, they've been here a while, so maybe like 35 years. So they used to live in a place called Fountain Hills up here. It's a really nice community up over there, really richest community, and they did a whole bunch of developing and stuff out over there. Anyway, I just wanted to say that little spiel and see if you guys had any plans or anything like that for the weekend going into Monday. So I plan on having lots and lots of fun. Anyway, let's get into the charts, guys. I'm just gonna talk a couple of different things here. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, let me know. So as you guys know, well, if you guys don't know, I use Webull for my paper trading, and I use Robinhood for my real trading. So we're just gonna take a gander at the market overall here today, um, and we're gonna I look at SPY because SPY is my baby. I love it. So we're going to check out the daily here. Alrighty. Alright, so I'm looking at the daily here, and you can clearly see I have a couple of lines here. So we did have a gap. We had a gap up. I think that we filled yesterday. I don't even remember. I'm gonna have to we're gonna look at this at a smaller time frame too, but it looks like we're gonna probably start curling down. This candle actually opened under the 5, which leads me to think we're gonna probably head down. So 2 days ago, so Tuesday, if you guys were in here, you guys know that we had a gap all the way down over here that was created, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 trading days ago. And we pretty much we didn't even fill it on this huge wick down. And after we broke down, we kind of pushed back up, popped up, got oversold. Now we got pushed back down, or sorry, overbought, and then we got pushed back down a little bit here. So I do think that we are due for, I guess you would say, like a correction. This would be really healthy. This would be a healthy pullback after this huge run up. I mean, we came up on. I mean, if you really look at it, guys, I mean, we came all the way from the low of 629. I mean, imagine that. Imagine like a month and a half ago, and in April, all the way to now to May. That if you said, "Oh, we're gonna run up like $100," well, you did basically. You ran up all the way up to 650 basically. So if you were bullish on that one, man, you made a boatload of money. Boatload. That's a crazy win. It seems like the past 2 Aprils too, have been just exactly like this, a repeater. So anyway, so we're looking at this. We got okay, I think this one was I think this little line right here was the other gap fill at 739.11. So it looks like we filled that one already multiple times. I think we created one over here or something like that. I'm gonna have to look at it a little bit later. So anyway, we got under the 5 right now. We're currently under the 5 on the daily. So what I'm gonna be looking for in the next upcoming week, 2 weeks, like something like that, I'm gonna be looking to fill this gap down to 731. We'll probably get here a lot faster than a lot of people think, honestly. So we'll probably get there. It didn't fill. It looks like it did. It really does look like it did right here on this candle, but it did not. If you break this down in a smaller time frame, which we will here in just a second, you can see that we did not actually fill that gap fully. So it's still there. Um, so like I said, I think we had a little bit lower. We do have this gap all the way down to 725. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm be looking for this gap fill down to 725. So like I said, price prediction in like the next 2 weeks, a week, 2 weeks, I expect we come back down for a little bit relief after we had this huge run up. I mean, we did get a couple of overbought signals right here, so I do expect a cool off. This technically did cool it off right here. It cooled off the RSI a little bit, but you can clearly see that we bounced off the 13. We went under a little bit, but we pretty much bounced off the 13. Same thing with yesterday too as well. This nice huge candle. We touched the 13, boom, we ripped above. So be cautious on the daily here. That's what we're looking for. We're looking to beat the 50 here. So we need a confirmation below, and a confirmation would be 1 to 2. Well, I like to think 2 to 3 candles. So if you're looking at the daily, it would be like $2 to $3. So what I'm expecting today too as well, I'm looking to possibly come down and test the 13. I know it looks like a huge jump, but as you can clearly see, it's very much possible. You can definitely see about $10, like $8 to $10 swings used to be pretty normal for SPY. So I used to see, so technically it would be about $20 moves, because if you go all the way from the top all the way down to the bottom, that's about $10. And if you go from the bottom all the way to the top again, that's about another $10. So about $20, it swings in a range there, roughly, obviously. So like I said, yeah, I'm going to be looking for the testing of the 13 again. So we're going to want to break this. So let's break this down on a smaller time frame here. I'm going to go to the 15-minute, and we're going to check out this little gap over here that I was talking about. So you could see obviously on my daily there, this is that blue line that I was talking about for the gap. And you can see it right here. Let's clean this up a little bit. Let's just get rid of the breadbot recipe. And guys, you guys don't always have to have your breadbot recipe on. I just want to let this be known. You don't have to have it on all the time. To clean up your charts a little bit, to do a little bit more charting, turn it off, and you can do that right up over here in your little widget, little eyeball. You just click that eye, it turns it off, it turns it on. So anyway, you can see that gap all the way down right here. And I believe these two lines, what were these two lines for? All right, it wasn't that one. Sorry. I have a couple of, you can clearly see I have a couple of different other things right here that I do be charting out. I leave them all there because technically when you do have gaps and stuff like that, you normally see a support and resistance area around the general area. That's why I keep these lines up. Also why it kind of looks a little messy. So like I said, so that blue line that you saw right there, this gap, almost touched it, man. Almost filled it, but we did not. We did not. We left a little small one right here. You can see the little space right here. I can even break that down even on a minute chart right here. We'll just do that. So close. And this happens all the time. And this is also really important to make sure that your lines are pretty straight. So that way, when you are gauging something, you know in your mind too as well, this is a very possibility that there's a gap and that there's still some orders floating right here in this little small sliver area. Like I said, very possible to come back in. So let's go back to the 15-minute here, since we already know that's where that gap was. And that was from May 8th. So May 8th, we had that gap. Sorry, Thursday, May 7th, we had that gap, and we almost had that fill. the 19th. So about, well, not the night, yeah, the 19th. So pretty close. So we came up, we shot up. You see, we created a gap up right here in the open. Well, this is the after hours right here, by the way, guys. If you guys don't already know, I forgot to tell you this. This is the after hours. So this is your regular trading day, the black, the blue right here, after hours. And then this orange one right here is pre-market hours. So we can clearly see in the after hours, right, going into pre-market, we gapped up. It filled that gap partially right here, and it looks like it filled right here, and it looks like there's kind of a little support right here in this area. Obviously, I don't think it's going to hold. And if you look at the chart too, you can clearly see exactly where the wick is too as well. It looks like these resistance areas. You see the rejection right here? This might act as a temporary support. Remember, guys, your support and your resistance levels, they can flip all the time. So it's always important just to kind of remember that every once in a while, just to gauge where the market is. Remember, your resistance can become supports, and your supports can become resistance. So it's always good to remember stuff like that. Okay. So like I said, we came back down over here, and I personally think, we're going to come back down and fill this zone. So we're going to be doing a little bit of paper trading here, just to get into the swing of things. And now we're going to be looking at the overall market. So we looked at SPY here really quick. Now let's look at HIMS, because we are in a HIMS play. Remember, we got into HIMS, and we're going to kind of see where we're going. All right, so this is the 15-minute. Yeah, so we're on the 15-minute here. Yeah, so we're still good. So it looks like we came up, we had a little test here. I am slightly I'm not nervous, but I'm thinking possibly we could end up running up here. I'm really debating on if I should stay in this play or fully get out. We'll check where we are in pricing wise. So this is the daily here, guys. So you can clearly see where we got in. We got in right over here around 25.75-ish area. We got in right here on this little wick, just above the 50. We had this candle close we had this candle close too as well under the 50, which led me to believe that we will be bearish, which we did. We sold off pretty good. We took profits right here around this area, which is 21.75-ish. So we about a $4 move down from where we got in. I think we hit 100% on that play. So we hit 100%. Now we came down the next 2 days. We came up and we tested the 50. Now if this broke above the 50, we would have probably got out of the play. I really thought about doubling down here because I was hoping and banking on a rejection off of the 50, because the 50 EMA is really good for either a support bounce or a resistance. It's really, really, really strong, the 50 normally. So it's either you break above or you don't. So we are looking for the breakdown, obviously, for the 5 crossing. I think the 5 did cross, actually, one of the times. I can't necessarily remember. My memory sometimes is terrible. Anyway, so we did. Boom, we got that big push. Nice, good engulfing candle. Can't beat the 5. Can't beat above the 5. Boom, did that again, came back up for a little relief. We got kind of close to the Bollinger Band. This is always something to remember too as well. When you get really close to the Bollinger Band, when your candle does, normally you will see a slight bounce. Because it's the standard deviation on the Bollinger Band is 3. So that's like 1 every 3,000ths of a chance that you see the Bollinger Band being broken. So it's really strong. The Bollinger Bands are really strong. That's why normally when you see a breaking of the Bollinger Band on your chart, you normally see either retracement or you see it track back up. So we're looking real good. I'm actually still really confident about this play. We just had the 13 cross the 50, which indicates we're going to have a nice big wash. Now, this is a beautiful type of setup. These are types of setups that Mo likes to look at, and I also like to look at, because the probability is actually really high that we're going to see this play out. After you saw this rejection of the 5 leading into today, like I said, that gave us a really good indication. Also, the 5 crossing the 13, and the breadbot's given me a lot of confidence because it's given me the verification. It's verifying, boom, 13 crossed the 50. We should normally see a wash more times than not. You always hear Mo say that. More times than not, that's what we'll see. So we'll see. I'm expecting a nice big wash, at least down to $20. So I'm looking for about a $2 move here. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's not really necessarily a lot. Now, also, too, guys, when we're in this play, you can play this play actually right now. If you wanted to get in, you probably could. This would be a good candle to get in on, because we did have the confirmation of the 13 crossing the 50. Now, the only thing I'm a little nervous about is because, not nervous, but the thing I'm watching for the most is this little area right here. And why is that? It's because this has a support area. You see how this ripped all the way up? Had a nice big bullish move. Well, going into that means that this is a support area. So we're going to be looking to break this area from, like, sorry, my thing disconnected there. I wanted to make sure it reconnected. All right, so this is a gap filling play. So you can see that clearly. This created a gap. Boom, it ripped all the way up. It halfway filled. And this is what you see all the time with gaps too as well. They don't always fill fully. They'll leave half on the table here. Or even that little sliver that we saw in SPY. You saw that little small little sliver that was left there. Sometimes it will leave it there. So if you're trying to trade gaps or anything like that, always be aware that they won't fill completely every single time. Okay, so always be aware. You can clearly see that here on this one. For this is a great example. Came down, only filled about halfway, still leaving all this. So it left 18. What is this? 15. So like $3-ish, 250 to $3 on the table right here, move downwards. Now that's a big move in options if you guys are trading options. Not so much if you're a shareholder, obviously. So, and you can clearly see we're playing out right here. So let's get into a little bit of paper trading here. That's a little rundown of the morning and what we're looking at here. So let's pull up the charts. So as you guys know, I use Webull for my paper trading. You're going to scroll all the way down over here on the right side. Paper trading, click on that guide. Now let's look at our HIMS play. See, so you know that we took 5 off the table on Tuesday. So we cashed out 5 contracts at 110%. I think it was like, I don't even remember, like $900-ish. So I don't have any more orders working. Remember, we did try to sell 3 contracts the other day, 2 as well. It looks like we just had that other run up, so we didn't end up selling. So theta and time decay also kind of took away a lot of our contract, but it was really good that we sold 5 there. Jordan, I need help, please. I was kicked off the Discord server a few minutes ago. Payment declined. I fixed it. It should be clear now. Anything I can do, I have to ask in the server. Rob, what's your Discord name? And I'll help you out, brother. I'll send a message out right now. Put your Discord @ name in there, and then I'll let Miss Mo know, and she'll check on that, and I'll let you know. Now the payment service, normally, so troubleshooting payment services, normally it should happen like right away. Thanks. Let me check. I think it's the same. Okay, Rob. Yeah, so guys, if your payment services don't go through, I know a couple of people's didn't. Sometimes you need to either one, call your bank and ask them, hey, why didn't this payment go through? Or just check your bank. Maybe you just didn't have enough money in there. Sometimes that happens. Or you can change your payment plan and then pay that way. So if you guys we're having any troubles, just go to WAP and then go to your payments. I can't pull up my WAP. My WAP's way different. I can't show a lot of the stuff that I have on there because it's different from creators to for everyday people that use WAP. Our display's a little bit different, but same concept. So you just go into your settings. It's either you have the WAP app on your phone or you can go online and check your settings. On the top right corner, there's your little icon normally, like right up over here. And it should say settings. Click on that, and then you can go to manage subscriptions. You manage your subscriptions through that way, and you'll see your payments, and you can either change your payment plan or try to rerun it again. And if that doesn't work, like I said, you're gonna either need to call your bank or, like I said, you can let me know. I'll let Miss Mo know right now. Are we able to save different template setups in Webull? Like if set up on my screen to yours, can I save it as a template name? Yes, you can definitely do that. So up right here, obviously you see your template. And you can click new layout right here, that little plus button right up on the top right corner, and you can choose a layout. You can do a default one or you can do a customized one. I normally just keep them all. I normally just do the custom one. So normally when I'm paper trading, I just click that paper trading one and then I just kind of clean it up. You know what I mean? So for example, I keep the options. So you have your options one, your order entry, your turbo trader, your orders and positions. So these four are what I keep really right here. I get rid of this stuff. I don't need this. You know, I remove that. I like keeping my clock up there because I like knowing what time it is in the market because it does make a difference. Lunchtime, you see a shift. Morning, you see the most volume and stuff like that. So I normally keep the clock, or you can remove it. But I normally remove all this stuff. I don't really necessarily need it to trade. This one right here is actually really good to have if you like keeping, if you're looking at a bunch of different stocks. So basically your watch list right here on the top left as Rob Evans. All right, Rob Evans. I'm going to take a picture here for you and I'll have Miss Mo check that out for you here. Boop. All right. Give me 1 second here, guys. All right, so I sent a message to Miss Mo right now. So we'll check up on that stuff. Okay, I'll work on getting mine set up like yours later and get it saved. Yeah, so it should just save automatically. You can have multiple different templates at the same time. And so just really, you don't have to make it like mine. Make it personable to you. So whatever works for you. So like this setup that I have right here is different than my other setup that I have at work. My setup's a little bit different at work than I do have on this one. I dabble around a lot with different setups and stuff. I have a very not like how do you say it? I don't have like scatterbrain or anything like that. I just like looking at different variations. I like looking at a bunch of different information and then determining how I want to interact with that, if that makes any sense. No problem, Rob. And yeah, like I said, so you can move this stuff around to however you want. Like I said, you can make it like mine. You can move this over here, or you know, you can, like I said, you can set it up like however you want, you know. I like keeping most of the stuff on the right hand side because I'm a weirdo. And you can expand these to bigger, smaller, anything you want. And then you can set up your indicators. So you're going to want to set up your indicators right here. And you can see all those up here. So if you want a MACD, put the MACD, VWAP, EMAs, all that other stuff in here. So do it however you want. Right here, obviously, are all the indicators. And you can go through and pick the ones that you want. So for mine personally, I'm just going to close this out now, guys, because I don't need it. So the indicators that I have are right here, obviously on the top left. I have the Bollinger Band, VWAP, and I have all the EMAs, so the 5, the 13, and the 50. and then I use VP, which is the volume price. So however you guys want to set it up. Remember, guys, this is supposed to be customizable to you, to what you do. Um, I'm new with options. Got to start somewhere. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, dude, everybody's got to start somewhere. I say this to everybody who's new. Um, the fact that you even started is better than most people. Most people don't even start. So it's always good just to get started somewhere. At least you started. Sorry here, guys. All right. Sorry about that. So anyway, yeah, so you can set it up however you want. And then also, I forgot to mention this, you can add widgets. So on the top right over here, you can add different widgets that you want, you know, the order book, the charts, the paper trading. So you can have the classic trade, order entry, all this other stuff. Now you're just going to want to kind of play around with it a little bit, see what it does. Also, guys, if you guys don't know what it does, YouTube is your best answer. Normally they have different descriptions on their website. So if you go to Webull.com or whatever, or if you just go on the YouTube in general and just type in um, explanations of a Webull setup and stuff like that, and it gives you a good rundown and a more in-depth rundown of things. I personally can't do that right now at this very second. Honestly, I'm gonna start streaming a little bit more than just Tuesdays and Thursdays, um, for the love of the game, because there's so much information out here that I can't get to you guys all in like this one jam-packed hour. So just curious, why don't you use your real trading and Webull? I do real trading, but I use Robinhood for my real trades. So my real trades are for Robinhood. This is for practice. This is for testing theories, looking at different strategies. So there's like, you know, for example, a cup and handle. You know, I'll pull up a couple example stuff here over here. And I also wanted to bring, there's also another thing that I wanted to talk about. So this is for mainly practice and for different patterns and stuff like that. So for example, I'm just going to bring this over here really quick just to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So this gives a little bit more of a better explanation. So I look for this kind of stuff right here. So a lot of these are different variations of plays that you can do. So these are different patterns and stuff like that. So I use a lot of these in my everyday trading. These are extremely helpful. I have an actual huge spreadsheet from Mo actually that goes into different other options and technicals and stuff exactly just like this. It's actually in the master course classes. So if you guys don't already know, I'm just gonna kind of lead into this. If you guys don't know, we do have the master course classes, guys. So this goes through everything that we got right here. So we have the crypto, the option, and the technical. Now the technical does the best, honestly. If you guys are just looking to get one class, at least get the technical. Don't worry about these other two. The technical is what's going to lead you to victory. This one leads into this one, and this one leads into this one. They all work together in a mesh. So if you guys are looking for a bundle, we have a sick bundle deal right now for the three right here, for the three courses. So if you click on here real quick, boom, it's going to pull up the little payment option. And if you go down to the coupon and you type in code SAVE, boom, redeem that. That's going to knock off an extra $400. So we're running a sick deal just for you guys here in the Discord. $6.99 for all three classes. And these are extremely helpful, a great learning environment. These are college level classes, guys. This goes far beyond what we have in the Discord. So in the learning library, if you guys already went through the learning library, this is way more advanced and way more in depth. I'm actually going to be doing a little segment about this a little bit later. That's why also I gotta be streaming a little bit more, so I can give you guys the full rundown of all this stuff, because I don't have enough time to do all this in this short period, this short time frame that we got going on here. So like I said, take advantage of that, guys. You guys get sick discounts in the Discord. So normally it's around 2K. We're giving a discount for $6.99. So definitely check that out. And if you guys don't know where that is, um, you can go on my YouTube over here. If you guys don't already know, if you guys don't already follow me, I have my QR code on the top. So if you guys are on desktop, you can scan that right there. And then I also have my link to financial freedom, because that's exactly what they are. They're links to financial freedom right here, my digital business card. You can click on that guy and it's going to pull up my digital business card. And I have the master course classes up right here for you, as well as the sorry, my thing disconnected. Now it reconnected. Also, if you guys don't have a platform that you guys are using, I use Robinhood for my real trades, and then for my practice trading and my ideas and stuff like that, I use Webull for my paper trades, as well as um, stock analysis and stuff like that, looking at the overall market. So I just wanted to mention that to you guys there really quick, um, just while we're on topic, obviously. So definitely take a look at that, guys. It's definitely worth it. So anyway, going back into patterns. So this is what I use Webull for. I use Webull to paper trade pattern trades to see if they actually play out. So I do a technical analysis breakdown on TradingView, and I look for the setups and I draw my lines and stuff like that. That's why you see all my Crayola drawings all over the place. It looks all messy. Those are my own personal things, and I break them down into smaller time frames, and then I make some trades. So, and that's what I want to be doing here with you guys. So there's no risk involved. You're not going to be risking your own money. So if a trade goes sideways, you're not going to lose. What I want to do with you guys is I want you guys to be comfortable enough to be able to read the charts, to understand what's going on, to recognize price action and the fluctuation of things. So that way, when you do get into the real trading, you already know what to look for. You look for those key signals, those key signs, those support and resistance areas, and those patterns and stuff like that. And so once you look at those patterns long enough and you see the same things over and over again, you're going to make it's going to be easy for entry and exits. That's why I'm also able to get into a trade and get out of a trade really fast if it goes south. It's because of my execution. It's because of what I've seen and what I've learned before. So this is really, really good. Oh, boo, I wish I would have known. You have to pay separate? Oh, yeah. Nice, thanks. Do you get this on the Earner Plus, or is this separate? Amy, this is actually separate. The Master Course classes are separate. They're not part of the Plus tier. Um, the Plus members get they get us. They get the expert traders and stuff like that to teach you different other trading strategies that they've been doing, and also learning about too as well. You know, another great, actually, guys, if you guys don't know, I'm gonna plug Dr. Stock. Dr. Stock has great information, guys. He gives you a good spreadsheet breakdown using Claude. Actually has PDF files of good breakdowns and analysis on his stuff. So definitely check out his channel, guys. I'm being serious. I've been in his lives. I've been in almost all of his lives so far. And the beginning of his lives are super great. He gives such good information, guys. Because if you guys don't know, he's actually a teacher too. So he does teach real students as well, you know. So he's actually a teacher. He does this too as well for fun, for not for fun, but well, I actually, a lot of us do this for fun. I mean, this is fun. I love doing this stuff for you guys. Learning is great. I believe knowledge is power. So this is the type of stuff that I want to be teaching you guys. I wanted you guys to see patterns. So I normally look at a couple of different patterns. These four right here are actually the top patterns that I normally look for. I look for a bearish double top. I look for a head and shoulders, and I look for an inverse head and shoulders, and I look for a double bottom. These four right here are the most common that you will see when you're trading. And these are the ones that I mainly look for. This one too, bullish triple tops. Boom. This one right here, really good one. Same thing right here, bearish. So these are different other strategies and stuff like that that you could be watching and paying attention to. And this is stuff that I'm going to be trying to teach and stuff like that. So, sorry guys, I know I ramble on a lot, but I'm just trying to get you guys all the information possible. Oof, it looks like Hims just rebounded real hard right here off this 22. I think I'm gonna de-risk. I think I'm gonna close. Yeah, we're gonna close 3 here. Actually, no, we're not. No, we're not. We're going to see if the strategy actually holds of my initial technical analysis. So HIMS, yeah, so this could, and this is another thing to look at too here, guys. This could easily curl back around and go up. So if you guys are in the HIMS play, you guys could easily just kind of get out right here. This would be a great spot. You see where my little blue line is? I'm telling you, my charts are charting. This could easily curl back up if you guys already know. We do have a gap up to 28.55, so just be careful with that, guys. Just be careful. I'm going to play this out a little bit longer. Like I said, just because it's paper trading, so what am I doing? I'm testing a play of what I think is going to happen, right? So we're going to continue to play this out. I think I have this for about a week or so left. When is this? 29th? What's today? The 20th. So I have this until next week. Next Friday is going to be the expiration. So we'll see that. I have not watched Dr. Stock yet. Thank you for the info. Yeah, Amy, definitely. Definitely check out his stuff. He has great stuff. All of our expert traders actually have really great stuff, really great information. Dr. Stock is my personal favorite right now because he's not personally trading. He's actually just teaching a lot of the technicals and a lot of yeah, like I said, just the technicals and basically what stuff means. So like what the EMAs mean, what the MACD means, what volume means, what the RSI means, and just multiple different other things. He does Fibonacci retracements and analysis. Oof, yeah, look at that. Yeah, HIMS is going on a rip. I don't think I like that. Let's look at the daily again here really quick. See, even though the 13 crossed the 50, this could easily bounce back up. We might be just coming up to test the 5 to come back down again. We'll see. We'll see. Actually, I'll stay in this. But let's get into a little bit of paper trading here really quick. I want to make sure we get some trades in here. I got about how much longer do I got? Oof, I got about 20 minutes until I got to go to work. So let's do a couple of trades here. So let's look at the overall market right now. It looks like we're bullish. Looks like we're about to come down. What's Microsoft doing? Remember, guys, I look at multiple different charts. If you guys don't know how I trade blue chips as well as SPY. Now, SPY has multiple indices that make up SPY. So the top 5 holders, well, not the top 5 holders because Meta and Avago aren't part of the top 5, but they are in the top 10 holdings. I just trade Avago and Meta more. They make more money. They have better moves technically than like Amazon or Google. I don't really like trading Google or Amazon. They're just they're not my favorite. So Avago and Meta is what I got going on here. So top 3 right here is Microsoft, Nvidia, and Apple. So I normally pay attention to these guys. These guys are kind of laggards there. So Microsoft has one of the biggest holdings in SPY, same as Nvidia and Apple. So I normally watch them. So it looks like we're going to go down. We're going to probably test the 50. So you know what? Let's go over here. We got to change our chart to SPY really quick. So remember, guys, change your charts over as well as change your options chain. Because if you don't change your options chain, you could be trading a different stock. So be aware of that. Remember, make sure this is matching this guy over here. I don't have that problem with Robinhood because Robinhood is pretty good. Oh, see, it looks like we already came down and touched the 50. I missed that opportunity. So let's see if we bounce here. We do have a bunch of volume sitting down here below at 737. Let's see if we break the 50. We're going to go in on a put right here. Let's just go for it. Boom. We bought 10. We're in. We're in puts, guys. So we're in puts at 740. This is how fast it should be. Let's see the crossing. Got the VWAP. Bollinger Band makes me slightly nervous here because it is kind of tightening up. Now, when the Bollinger Bands tighten up, that means a squeeze is about to happen. It's either going to squeeze up or it's going to squeeze down. Dr. Stock was just talking about the bid/ask spread being an indicator of liquidity. Very interesting. That's right, Rob. That's right. The bid and the spread and the bid and the ask price is an indicator of liquidity, and you'll see it fluctuate. So I'm just going to pull this over here for you guys. and open this up a little bit so you guys can see. So obviously the options chain has a bunch of different numbers on here. I know it looks confusing, um, but all this stuff is data. It's all information that a lot of traders and algorithms take in all the time. Now, algorithms obviously are faster than we are. So, because they happen at a microsecond, obviously, but all this stuff means something. All this stuff means something. So, the change in price, 44% change in price. Mid price was 190 over here. Implied volume, 24%. Open interest, so about 9,226 people are interested, or at least option contracts are interested right here. Delta, which front and option goes over great Greeks. He goes over the Greeks really well, honestly. He's one of the great people in here that goes over some of that information. And he goes over theta, gamma, delta, IV, all that stuff. All that stuff plays a key factor when you're trading. So when I'm day trading, I don't really pay attention too much to stuff like that. Now, when you're doing swing trades, that's kind of when you want to pay attention to IV and theta and all that other good stuff. So I don't know why my SPY plays down. We shouldn't be down. Yeah, boom. All right. So if you guys don't know, it looks like we're up. Boom. It looks like we're going to break. We're touching the Bollinger Band and we're at the VWAP. Looks like we're scooping up this volume. Let's get out of this play here really quick. So you can clearly see we're up a couple $100 on the play. Boom, 470. So let's close this guy. What's the average price? SPY 264 was the last. So let's go to just 260. Let's go to 270. We'll get out of all of them at 270. Boom. So we just hit profit. Boom. We just made about $600 on that play right there. Is the trade you just entered considered a 0 DTE? Yes, it is. Pretty much all my trades. That's what I do. I'm a scalper and a day trader, so almost all my trades, about 95% of my trades are 0 DTE. I'm a scalper, I'm a day trader. That's what I love. That's what I'm good at. I make quick money. I'm in and out just like that. But I also do swing trades. If I see a good setup on a trade, I love swing trading just like this one. So for example, HIMS is a swing trade. 0 DTE means the same date to expiration. DTE, date to expiration. That's what that means. So 0 would obviously be the day, open and closing the same day. Now I'm gonna kind of explain that too a little bit here. So if we go over to our options chain again, on this little arrow on the top left you see right here, it's gonna pull up the options, right? The option chain. Now the strike price is where it's currently at. So clearly. So for example, it's at 739. 739 is technically in the money because we're above it. Now we're below it. So 739, if it's below, that means you're out of the money. And if you're in it, that means you're in the money. So out of the money, in the money contracts. Out of the money contracts cost a lot less. You can clearly see the ask and the bid price up here. So for about 10 contracts, it's going to cost you roughly $1.40 per contract. So if we bought 10 of those at this price at $1.40, it's $140 per contract. So 10 contracts, that would be $1,400 to buy 10 contracts. Now if you just wanted to buy one, right, it'd just be $140. And you don't have to do this on limit orders. You can do it at a market order. So you can literally buy at market price at that same time. So we're just going to simulate that really quick. I'm just going to hit buy, boom, and it's going to get me in immediately. So let me minimize this. Sorry guys, I know it's a little weird. So we just bought right at the money there, or right at that market price. Market price, like I said, when you're trading the market price, it's gonna give you the bid. It's gonna give you the bid price. It's never gonna, or yeah, it's gonna give you, sorry, got that mixed up there for a second. It's gonna give you the ask price. So the ask price is what you're gonna be sold at, or what it's gonna sell you that contract at. Clearly, obviously, we only bought one contract. It looks like we're up $1, obviously. For this play, we'll probably end up making some money. So it looks like we have bearish momentum. Looks like this candle came up, touched the 50 and the 13, rejected. Now we have the 13 crossing the 50, which means what, guys? Means we're going to get a wash. More times than not, we're going to get a wash. And what happened? Boom, we got the wash right here. So it looks like we made some money. Look, $21. So if we just bought that one contract, $21 up, that's 10%. 10% of that contract. Now, I personally like taking profit at 30%. That's my sweet spot. I normally see a 30% per trade. So even if you have small money, you can still make money. Trading options just like this. So let's just close this guy out right here. We're gonna go 150. Boom, we're out. So you can see right here for the day, the daily P&L. What did we make today? We made $612. Literally, how fast was that trade, guys? That was like literally a couple of minutes. We just made somebody's paycheck in like 5 minutes, dude. And this is the power of trading that you guys can get by doing this type of stuff. Now that's why I said too as well. Paper trading is really good to practice and to recognize what is going on in the charts and where to get in, where to get out, what to look for. So like right here, why do you think I got out right here? Do you guys know why I got out right here anyway? Or right in this area? Because it looks like this is a possible support area. This could be a possible support. Not saying that this can't go lower. We did have the 13 cross the 50, so we could even wash down even more. I mean, look at the MACD. You can see the volumes picking up a little bit too on the downside. Big red candle right here for volume. That's what we got right here. Boom, big push down. But it looks like I said, this could be a support here. We could, you know what? Since we're paper trading here, let's see if this actually does act as a support here. So let's get ready to line up a call for a 0 DTE. We're just going to go slightly above the money here, just out of the money. We're going to go to we're going to go 738 here. We're going to go 738. Let's just buy some calls. All right, we're in some calls right here. Let's see if this will actually rip up or if this will continue down. This would be an area to kind of buy because like I said, you see this little area? It looks like it's a support area right here. Where is this bouncing up off of? Right here. So what we're looking for on this specific trade right here too as well, we want to see us beat the 5. So not looking like we're going to. What I would love to see is a testing of the 13 and then we'll get out there. I sold that support. Got to take the profits. Crypto B, beautiful. See? Exactly, Crypto B. He knew. See, he saw the vision, guys. He saw the vision. He's like, yo, I'm getting out right here. So it looks like, yep, see, it looks like we kind of got that little support area. I want to get out right here at the 13. Remember, this is day trading, guys. Boom. All right. We're going to see a 13 test, possible VWAP test. We're doing fairly good. Got that little curl up here. We could have a rejection right here. So be careful. Be careful, guys. See, see, it's how it's kind of pushing back down. Yeah. Yeah, let's just get out here. I'm going to shoot for 215. Let's see if we get a little pop back up here. The last price was 207, so let's see if we can get, yeah, see that 13 rejection? See, it did exactly what we wanted. I just didn't exit fast enough. And that happens, guys. Sometimes you don't exit fast enough. And most of the time, too, when you're doing the day trade, guys, what I look for confirmation is 2 to about 3 candles-ish. it's very what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, see, we got the curl up. Looks like we got out. We got out in profit, guys. So boom. We're coming back up. Oh, looks like we came back down. What are you clicking on the box? Can you move it for a second? Which box? This one? My options chain? I'm not sure what you mean by which box. I got like 6 of them over here. This one? So this is the option chain. This is where you buy your options, if this is the one that you mean. So I normally buy this, and then you can see, so when I click on, so for example, this is the put, the right side right here is the put, um, and the left side is the calls. The order entry. Oh, okay, yeah, no problem. So the order entry is basically where you buy and sell. Here, sorry, hold on, let me close this box here for you. I just want to make sure that you guys can all see at the same time. Sorry, guys. I know this is a little wishy-washy here a little bit. So right here is my order entry. So anytime that I click, sorry, let me make this a little bit smaller. Anytime I click, for example, hymns on this right side right here, close. If you click close, it's going to set up the order entry to sell right here. So you're either selling or you're buying here. So you can buy or you can sell. So I still have 5 contracts in here. I could sell those 5 contracts for whatever price this is. I normally come over here and look at the last price and kind of gauge on the limit order sell. Remember, this isn't a market sell. This is a limit order sell. I'm selling at a certain specific ask price. So I'm asking a specific price to sell at. For example, the last price was $239. I want to make profit. I can sell that right here at $239 at the last price, and then boom, I just click place simulated order, and then it will place it in that order book right here. You can see on the right side I have my orders and what's working, right? And what has been filled. So you can see everything that I've done already when I bought and I sold, at what price, if it got filled, what time it was placed, and what time it got filled. So I placed it at 10:23. It got filled at 10:24. Boom, and I sold 10, or where I bought. And you can see the symbol of what you're buying and stuff like that, and you can move this over in your orders and stuff like that. And then you can see your canceled ones, your failed ones, or you can look at all of them. But the working ones is the ones that you have placed already, if that makes any sense. So order entry, boom, I could place this right here and sell this at a limit order. Or you can sell this at a market order. Remember, guys, you can sell this at market price. But remember, when you sell at market, it's going to give you the bid. It's not going to give you the ask price. So when you're looking at your options chain here, you see the little bit of a difference from it's a 1 cent difference. Now that makes a huge difference, obviously. If you're, for example, if you're holding 100 contracts, 1 cent makes a big difference. That's a could be easily a couple $100 for 1 cent right there that you could lose, or it could be a couple dollars. Obviously, the bigger it is, the bigger the price difference is, the fluctuation. Obviously, the smaller it is, obviously, smaller. If that makes sense. So that's what you use to buy and sell your contracts. So this is what you use to buy and sell right here is the order entry window. Was that helpful at all? Did that explain anything for you guys? Sorry, I know my big fat face is right there in the corner right here. I know you can't see it, so I'd have to move it around a little bit, but I guess I could be up here in the top right, but then you can't see my thing. Yeah, I normally just keep it down right here. So yeah, let's look at this again really quick. You see what I was talking about earlier? See how it played out how I thought? See how this acted as a support right here? It was a good play. See, sometimes, guys, even if it looks good and it plays out, sometimes or it doesn't play out, doesn't mean it wasn't a good entry or a good exit. It just execution wise, sometimes it just statistically doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. Like I was very happy with the play that I got into. The call, boom. It looked good. Kind of sold off a little bit, but look, it recovered. And that's why I say about 2 to 3 candles. So what did we get in? We got in like what, right here? So if we got in right here, how many candles was that? 1, 2. The third one we ripped back up. This one came back down. Fourth one came back up. And it looks like we're heading a little bit higher. So like I said, I kind of gauge it on the 2 to 3 candles. And then obviously I have my indicators to give me confidence too as well when trading. Also, you got to use the breadbot, guys. The breadbot is fire. So I also come over here all the time. I already personally know what I'm looking at and looking for. So I don't always necessarily need the chart, right? So boom, look at that. You see the bullish indicator right here, the 5 crossing the 13. The EMAs are really close too. And this is also what I was talking about on him. See how this all kind of correlates together? Just running it back again. What were we just looking at HIMS? You notice how the 13 came down a little bit, but then you had this little support area where it kind of curled. See how it's kind of curling back? That's exactly what could happen to the HIMS play right here. It came down a little bit and it could slightly just kind of consolidate and then head back up. So we got to be careful with stuff like that. This is a great example breaking down a bigger time frame into a smaller time frame. So yeah, like I said, good play. That was a great play on our part. If we would have held that contract, we would be up big money. So the next place that I would be looking at right here would be a resistance area. So this is kind of a support and resistance kind of type trading right here, as you can see. So the next place I would be personally looking at was like maybe right here. And I only say right here is because why? You have this huge engulfing candle coming down. That means that there was a lot of sellers right here. That means there's a resistance area right here. And then the next place obviously would be right here. Would be right up here in this general area. And this could act as a channel too, guys. This could sit here in the channel. Possibly. But this is what I would be looking for. So basically, I'm sure a bunch of people are lined up in puts right here. You'd kind of have to look at the order book and see where things kind of are. And that's also why I look at my Webull chart too as well. That's why also I have this guy right here. You see this? This shows me different types of kind of volume of contracts. So it looks like there's still lots of volume down here. Now, also this is a little bit kind of confusing. This can be confusing sometimes because this volume could have been this support right here to lift this up. So I don't necessarily know if this is meaning it will be supported or if it's going to be a rejection area. It's just how much volume and how many contracts and how many people are in here buying and selling. So this could be buyers, this could be sellers. Obviously it's a mix of both, but who's winning more, who has more? I don't know. I don't know. So that's the type of stuff that I look for personally when I'm trading. So so it looks like we kind of got to the area. Now when I do support and resistance lines, I do a general area. I'm not always like, oh, it has to touch this line. I know a lot of people are like that. I'm personally not like that because it doesn't always have to come up there to touch the line to come down. To see how we barely missed and it's still pushed down. I use it as a general guideline, guys. You guys should be using your tools and your analysis as general guidelines, because like I said, if you wait for the perfect one, you're going to be waiting a long time. Now there are very disciplined traders that do that do just wait specifically for a setup. I'm just personally not one of them. It drives me nuts. So anyway, guys, I'm actually late. I gotta head on out here. But like I said, guys, if you guys haven't already, definitely check out check out what we got going on. If you guys haven't already, like I said, check out the check out the master course classes. They're killer. I'm actually going to be doing a little review about them and stuff like that. Um, to kind of give you a general idea of what's actually in there, because I have the classes. I've taken the master course classes. They're phenomenal. I love them. So definitely take advantage of that, guys. And like I said, if you guys are on desktop, you can scan the QR code for my digital business card, or, you know, I have my link right here in the description that you can click on, or you can just click this link right here and it'll pop up my digital business card for all that good stuff for the master course classes and for the lifetime. Remember, we're running a deal for the lifetime. Code Discord for people who are in the Discord. This is specifically for you guys. You guys get the best deals. We provide you guys with the best deals and stuff like that. So definitely take advantage of that. And if you guys haven't already, you can follow me on all my socials here. I go live on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. You can follow me on X. And if you guys haven't found a platform yet, you can use Robinhood. If you click on this guy, it'll give you to my link, and we can both get a free stock or whatever whenever you deposit some money in there. So we both get a little something something for it. Or you can use my Webull. I think it's the same promotion. I don't know. All these platforms have a bunch of different stuff going on and stuff like that. But like I said, if you guys are looking or interested in using the same platforms that I do, I got it all right here in my digital business card. Or, you know, also guys, if you guys don't know, if you guys know somebody who is looking to invest or stuff like that, you know, feel free to send them my digital business card. You know, we have all of our stuff right here for anybody. So share it with your friends whenever you want, however you want, wherever you want, stuff like that. So definitely check that out. Also, yeah, see, this is my Robinhood account. Like I said, this is where I do all my trading. I trade all my stuff right here. Right now I'm trading the SPX. I mean, obviously I'm not trading at this very second, but I trade the SPX. It's the S&P 500. Contracts are extremely pricey, as you can see right here. It's roughly about $1,700 for just out of the money. Now, I normally do price prediction when I'm trading SPX. I normally go for a lower contract, so somewhere around here, $400 or $500 a contract. And then I normally, like I said, I do like a price prediction-ish area of where I think it's going to go. Support resistant line areas. You know, I look for certain quick takeaways and stuff like that. So I like stacking wins on top of each other. Don't have to swing for the fences every single time, guys. Remember, those small wins create one big win. So if you stack 3 30%ers or even 4, you know, you're talking 90 to like 100, 110%, 120%, you know. Just keep stacking wins. Remember, those little small wins become one big win, guys. So, like I said, definitely keep that in mind. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was going to talk about the Fear and Greed Index earlier, but I can't right now. I really got to go. But yeah, I'm already like 10 minutes late. I got to go to that 9 to 5 job. Dude, honestly, if I could stay here and do this all day, I would. I would do this all day. But unfortunately, got to pay them bills. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys found this a little bit useful. I appreciate all you guys for stopping by and stuff like that. And like I said, if you guys are doing something this weekend for Memorial Day, let me know in the comments below if you guys are watching this a little bit later. You know, if you guys are going fishing, going on a fishing trip, maybe you're going on a road trip or something like that, or you know, you're going to the lake like me, grilling up some food, eating some food, and having a good time out over there, hanging out with family and friends and stuff like that. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Remember, guys, no markets closed on Monday. Markets closed on Monday, so be aware. All right, guys. Well, much love. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the Discord. Crypto B, Sonya, y'all have a good one. I'll see you guys in the Discord. I appreciate you guys all for stopping by. And if you haven't already, hit that like button for me real quick. I would appreciate that if you guys found that really helpful. Anyway, guys, much love. I'll see you guys in the Discord.